Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager, and I'm into week 42 of the competition. And in this Lower League Manager series, we made a lot of progress. After 5 years down in the bottom tier, we finally built the team up strong enough to get out and into that second tier. And after a decent survival campaign in the first season, here in Season 2, at this level, so Season 7 overall, things are starting to go my way. We had a decent start to the season, but since that time, things have gotten even better. We've got a few things to do, though. I'll give you an update on that in a moment. But first, I have a sponsorship deal to sign. I have one vacancy on that matter. And let's see, do I have one left that involves race position, 6th or above? Yes, I do have one. First would be difficult, so I think that's probably out. Fixed per race. Oh yeah, this is definitely a better deal. So there you go. Alright. Finances are starting to look pretty decent. They're better than they were. We're still losing a little bit per race. After losing a number of pit crew, I'm getting back up there. I've got 5 to swap out now, so close on that. Headquarters, I have 2 upgrades coming very soon in the next week. The scouting facility is going to be maxed out, plus a forecasting center finally, so I can make those predictions on the weather a little bit further out. And the car, we have some work that's about to be done here in just moments. Gearbox, plus some improvement to the car. Both coming real soon. You can see the car is in much better shape. Rear wing is now 3rd. Still 7th on suspension, but I have not done suspension yet this year. Front wing is now 4th. Brakes are 7th. And the gearbox, which I'm working on now, is 7th. So that was the lowest and still is the lowest. But with that new part coming along, that should make a nice little boost there. And a quick look, I'm all maxed out now. 20, 20, 20 on all of these, so that's very good. Very secure on the job. And here's that quick look. So 5 seasons in that lowest tier. See, I had 1 podium in that first season, and then I had good drivers but could not afford them. So to keep away from bankruptcy, we really had to drop down to the lowest level. We added a race in the rules in the 2017 season, 2018 season. There we managed a single podium. That next year I got 4 podiums and a couple race wins, which was awesome. And that moved us right up into a comfortable 2nd place. The next year we went ahead and won. And it was actually kind of close on that championship. Last year I did manage 4 podiums in the 13 races. And that was definitely down the stretch towards the end of the year. But this year, already a podium and, yes, a win. And over the last 2 races, we've managed to pick up some points with 27 now for De Vries, 12 for Verline. And the last race, we were back in Munich, and in between the 2 Munich races was Guildford, so we were in England. And in the England race, which was done off camera, Verline, not De Vries, Verline ended up with 2nd place. And De Vries did get into the points in 5th. So I had a 2nd and 5th place there with Verline. And then I actually swapped and did the same thing. Back in Munich, De Vries with a 2nd place finish, and Verline managed to get 5th, which is the 3rd time this season. The irony, though, De Vries almost won that race. I went for a one-stop strategy, which was the only way that I was competitive, because if you see back in Munich the first time, I managed a 4th place for De Vries, and I just squeaked out that 4th place. It was really tough. 2 races later, I get De Vries up into 2nd place, and just a few car lengths. I was on the front stretch, on the way to the checkered flag, with the lead, and I was up a few seconds on Mazepin, but Mazepin had fresh tires and just came with a head of steam and a bunch of ERS and flew past me on the straight to win by over a second. So De Vries was just hanging on because of the one-stopper. Tires were worn really, really bad, and I was eking out ERS every little bit that whole last lap trying to stay ahead, and in the end could not hold off Mazepin, but it was still a great result with a 2nd place. So next up, we are heading to Belgium, to the Ardennes Grand Prix, and we'll see that De Vries, 3rd in points with his 1 win, is looking pretty good, and Mazepin with that win actually overtook Bottas in the Drivers' Championship by a single point. So the definite competition between those two at the top. And we are actually holding off Mazepin's team ART right now by just 2 points for 2nd place. We're well behind Sauber and Bottas, but a 2nd or 3rd either way is a solid finish, because we're looking for 4th place in the Constructors this season, and I think next season we can probably win it. Alright, you know what, let's take a look at the gearbox we just made first. Alright, so I already put out a gearbox with double rule breaking, so this is a part essentially for next season, as it'll top out at over 1100. So that'll be one to get the car designed for next season, but it will not go on the car this year as it's pretty heavy risk. But it opened up another slot, and from that I could actually get a pretty good gearbox at 1064, and that's going to be the final gearbox that goes onto the car. You can see the reliability is just 10% right now. That was the trade-off, so it's going to take quite a while to get that up. But that'll allow me to finally address the suspension, as we still have quite a few races left, actually. So 6 races to go in the championship this year, and I'm moving on to the final part already. So I might have time to get additional best parts put together and get 2 cars up to that level before the end of this season. Let's go ahead and get the suspension going. And let's see here. I guess we'll have to take the 1010 for now, just to get us going. Alright, now with that one just about done, we'll get this done today. I'll finish this off. And then we'll switch to the gearbox, and we'll get it going there for now. And actually, this one's going on the car not at all this year, so we'll just get that one going. There you go. And now we can go back and work on the reliability. Now, I want to get this on the car as soon as possible. Though I do have a good one at 10:18 already. So it might not be that urgent. So let's balance that out. It should be before the next race. So I'm actually going to go ahead and shift it. To get it done, we have to go all the way to 30, which means there's not really going to be any improvement. So now we'll set it up to where it's done. We'll say 2010. Okay, we'll go 2010 on that. All right, scouting facility is nearly done. Excellent. Here's the report. 24 lap race. 40% chance of rain. Good track for tire wear. And that was a scouting facility, so let's see if that opened up any new drivers to look at. It did max out the scouting slots. But the big thing was, did it add anybody to the pool? It did not. So no change there. That just finished off something that felt like it needed to be done. It was a cheap upgrade. The forecasting center is going to be done in 3 days. Meanwhile, we're working on a simulator, and I did put away some more money here, and we are doing a little better on that front, so I might go ahead and make another upgrade. I want to get that road car factory just because it's $1 million per race profit. So I may save up for that. There are a couple of cheap upgrades left. That would make a big difference too. These level 1 upgrades are tempting. For example, these 3 combined are just 23 million. No, I think we need the financial bonus, so I'm not going to spend any more. I'm going to hang on to some of that balance and then combine that with next year to start bringing in that $1 million a race. I mean, that's, you know, that's another 13, 14, 15 million dollars in a season. All right, so our first suspension piece is done. It's probably not going to get on the car. It's really just about unlocking things, and this is a -3 days. I might be going for that just to get it done quickly, because ultimately I'll be unlocking 4 slots. So already we're at 51%. And already 1018, 1019. It's actually matched the other gearbox. Alright, so Lando Norris picks up the win. And that's for Mercedes. That's Ferrari. Devesa in second, and Giovinazzi. So Mercedes leading the way this season. And down in my old series, the third tier. Another win for Tuesca Pagno. Headquarters moved off that line a little bit now. Another upgrade, just about done. And the car is finally above that halfway point, even though we're still only 6th best out of 10 teams. There's that next upgrade. Alright, down to just the simulator. I'm still very behind on those performance upgrades. I will certainly get to them. But the design, the factory, and staff, and especially that staff and brand, are all things that are well ahead, and that's what's helping the team grow. Dilemma. Oh, okay. But who is this? Oh, for Nick DeVries. Sure. Well, let's do it. Longer qualifying sessions. I don't like that. No, no, no. Alright, on to the part fitting. The only change may be in the... Yeah, the suspension's definitely not going on the car. It's here in the gearbox. 75%. For 100 improvement. That is good for Verline. Now with the weight stripping, right, this gearbox is going to be better as we bring it down to 80%. So we'll leave that one on, but that should work for Verline for today. And yeah. What's he up to? Estimated race position is now 12th. And DeVries is 7th. This is a better track for us for sure. On to the race weekend. Round 8 of 13 in the championship. We head into one of the more exciting tracks out there, especially to drive. If you've never tried the F1 2018 game, take a look, give it a shot. Take a look at my series. I do a series on that one. and it's a lot of fun, and I really like this track. It's one of the more difficult tracks to drive, but that's part of what makes it exciting. 4-lap difference and very little speed difference. So I think we're going to be going with the softs. And we'll make those little adjustments. Go with the softs. Get that weight stripping down to 80. Okay, we're set on race trim. Add softs. And away we go. Race trim, softs, and away you go as well. And we're gonna attack so we can get around the track a little bit faster. And why am I on softs when it's raining? Well, I guess it's just damp. It's gonna be soaked here soon though. They're coming right back in immediately anyway. And it does give me some tire boost. We are expecting some rain, but it's 40% chance on race day, so I'd rather get these bonuses. But it's definitely wet now. I'm going to have very little bonus off of these, so I may have to take the time to change tires here before I go back out. So that's 80%. We'll add more downforce, and we're going to move that speed balance as well. Come on, I want some difference. I guess the handling's gonna have to wait till next time to get some sort of shift, except for the downforce. That's gonna take more than that. There you go. Now there's at least a difference in the handling. Okay, still on race trim. Track's gonna go full wet here soon, so we'll go full wet. Poor. Gosh, I thought we would need more top speed on this track. A couple of lengthy straights. A lot of cornering though. I just don't see why it would be towards acceleration compared to what it is for real life, but okay. Alright, we'll try those. That might be a little too much. There we go. And full wets. And let's get back out on the track. Okay, where are we? And we head back in. Okay, getting close. Great, great, and excellent. 95%. Not too far off. How do I... Oh, we'll try that. Slight change there. And track's still soaked. Ooh. Yeah, see, I was right. Speed balance should be the other way. Okay, we'll push right towards the edge there. Now, this was great here. That was good there. So handling needs to go the other direction. No? Great, great, good. Yeah, okay, so we're back to great right now, where we're at. Okay, we'll try that small adjustment. And away we go. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Bring that back in. Race trims to level 1. It will dry out for the rest of practice. Went the wrong way. 93%. So we need to go right and left. Like that. Stay with the race trim. Stay with the wets for now. Good, great, great. Now we're getting somewhere. 92%. Okay, so we need to go back a bit. There you go. Pour. And that's great. That was great there. That was good. That was great. So we need to go... Both of these need to go to the left a little bit, which is going to be a difficult task. Let's see. How do I make that happen? Like that. Okay, that's both to the left a little bit. And I think we could take a little more off there. There we go. The rain has stopped. Track's going to dry out pretty quick. Down to just wet by the time we get around. Almost down to damp, which means it's time to switch tires. Did I even get level 1? I got level 1 on the wets at least. Still working on level 2 on the race trim. Oop, oh, you're already in. 96. It's like I'm inching my way. Great, 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 great. All over this place is great on the handling. I know I can do better than 96 though, so we'll shift it that way and see what we get. Still level 2. We're gonna go back to the softs. And we have a great, excellent, great. It's tough to get the balance down today, but 97's definitely not bad. Okay, so great is there. Good is there. We're still only great. So that was great. This is great. Is it in the middle or is it more to the right? And the speed balance is still got to be just a little more left. Alright, try that. Back to the softs. And away we go. I think I might let them run till we get to the end of the race trim on this one. That's level 2. Okay, now we need to push it here. closing in on 3. I don't think I'm going to get it before the end of this lap, but I don't need both drivers going around. So let's go ahead and bring in DeVries. There we go. Triple excellent. 99%. I like it. Alright, now. Soft tires are still only in between level 1 and 2. So I need to stay with the softs. I just need to go to qualifying trim and go to the end. Alright, race trim's just about to lock down. There it is. Race trim level 3, so we'll bring in Verline. Switch him up to do the same. Will not be able to get him on the supers, especially with only a minute 20. %. We were on excellent. Now it's only great, but it's so close. Can I... Let's see, that might be too much. I think we're too far off the mark there. Well, it doesn't hurt to try. I could always go back to this setup here. Don't get that right. And you're switching to qualifying trim and max fuel. And away you go. Alright, DeVries finally gets a hot lap in. We go 1 and 2, but of course it was practice and we were pushing. Ooh, actually only 1-4. So a few final laps were faster as the little bit of rubber was laid down. And here we are heading to qualifying, and oh look, more rain. Right now it's damp. Oh, and it's not going to rain for long. I'm not even going to go out until... And it's going to rain again. See that right there? Just before the 5-minute mark, it's going to start raining again. So I need to time this because there's really only dry track from about 7 to 5.5 minutes. So about a 1.5-minute stretch where it's going to be a dry track. And I need to get on the track right at that time to get the best. So we need... I'll put the... Well, I only have 2 bonuses available. So there you go. I don't think it's going to do any good whatsoever. Okay, we're at 98, and I'm going to put Super Softs on because it will be dry. Okay, 99. Let's see, was this the one I shifted 2 98s away? Okay, I did get it to excellent, so yeah. We ended up with a good setup, just not good bonuses. But it looks like tires are going to be all over the place. I at least have race trim +3, and maybe this crazy weather, I could benefit from it if I time it just right. We could get in that little window, and if it rains hard to the end, from 5 minutes to the end, if I get 2 cars in at that time, we could potentially be P1 and P2. I mean, look, everybody else is going to try to come out on intermediates right now. And yes, see, the track is going to get wet again. Okay, now I need to figure out, it's taking a minute and a half to get around the track right now while it's wet. Which means you need about a minute 40, and that track is not going to stay dry for long. So if I'm going a minute 40, I want to go at about 8.5. Yeah. And we'll try at about 8:05 here. And yep, it's going to be raining pretty hard down to about the 2-minute mark. So this could be the one and only. I'm going to turn auto on for Verline. And we'll do what we can for DeVries. And the rain does not seem to be letting up. If it does, it's not happening to the last 2 minutes, which means this is it. This is the one and only track dry enough for slicks lap that anyone's going to really get in. Alright, now where are we on the track? Okay. Yeah, get into it. Get out of it. Rhythm section here. Gotta stay out of it a bit. There we go. Gotta pick it up. Okay, we got perfect and just a little bit overheated on the brakes. That's pretty good setup. I did not see what Verline's setup was. But again, everybody else is out on inters. And look, the track is dry and it's going to be totally soaked through the end. And it's not going to last much longer. Both cars are in the middle of their hot lap while the track is at its driest on soft tires. Nobody else is out there on soft tires right now. And here comes the rain again. So the window was small, but we're a minute into the lap. We've only got about 30 seconds to go. Track is still only damp. DeVries, double purple, 1.7 seconds ahead of the pace. Verline 1.6 seconds ahead of the pace. Verline goes top, and DeVries. Track's wetter. It slows him down enough that Verline right now is provisional pole. DeVries goes second, so I timed it right for Verline. I was right to be at 8.5. Going 8:10 for DeVries. The track was a little too wet. It slowed him down. He was double purple through the first two sectors, but lost enough time in sector 3, that last 15-20 seconds or slow, that he ends up going P2. But look at that. We are 2.5 seconds better than anyone else. And the track is never going to get dry again. So that's going to be pole for Pascal Verline. And DeVries is going to start side by side. Front row lockout. Completely tactical. No other reason for it. I mean, look at the half a dozen cars getting their best time on full wets. Williams trying to run a lap on softs, but it was way too wet for that. And there you go. And that's a pretty good shake-up too. Front row. Alright, we need to get to it though, because I'm just about out of time for this episode, and I want to see how this thing goes. We are in the dry for now. And we're going to be dry at least halfway through this race. I want the softs and the race trim. And that was 0 bonuses. I mean, that was entirely Tactical. And no, not the super softs. I want 24 laps. I'm not going to get 24 out of those. They say. Start on the softs. Looks like we will be able to go to the super softs before the end. In fact, you could almost, DeVries, almost. But I'll take that bonus. It's only 10% bonus. And then we'll be able to push. It looks like we'll be able to push pretty hard. Get a lot of laps out of that first stint. With that plus 10, we'll be able to go long. We should still be up near the front. And then we'll switch over to the softs. And I can run them pretty hard. I don't have to make those tires last. I don't have to stretch it, so. Alright. Let's go racing. Five lights are up. We're at the Ardennes in Belgium for the Belgium Grand Prix, and the lights are out, and good start. De Vries made a mistake off the line. He dropped back momentarily behind Schramm, recovered, and then through the uphill section, Schramm was able to not only overtake De Vries, but Verline as well. So Schramm on the super softs goes top. Come on, De Vries, hang on. It's going to be difficult to keep these next three cars at bay when they're all on super softs, but they're not going to last terribly long on those. And if they go super softs again for their second stint, they're going to have a really hard time making it to the end of the race without major drop off on their last couple of laps. All right. Vries able to defend for fourth. Verline. Oof. Verline really lost it down the stretch there. They gained on him heavily, and I didn't see anybody else use an ERS there. Vries trying to recover, but down in fifth. Verline is hanging on to second place, so good for him. This car is getting better. It is getting closer to De Vries these days. Vries closes back up on Mazepin. Their tires are starting to come off a little bit, it looks like. So the initial pace that they had over us with the fresh tires, now that they're not so fresh, is beginning to fade. So the advantage has gone off a bit. Schramm has pulled away some, close to 3 seconds ahead of Verline. The rest of us are all within a second and a half, and De Vries, through this tight cornering section, has really closed up on Mazepin, forced to use their ERS to get back away from us. I'm going to save mine for the straight. Ooh, okay, I am cooking my tires here. I've never settled things down. Let's go into conserve. Let's back off a bit here. I don't want the tires to fall off too fast. Let's see. When I'm not pitting now, but I could go maybe 10 laps. If I went 9, that would give me a chance to push more towards the end of the race. So 9 to 10 laps for Verline. De Vries could actually push a bit harder on these tires because I think, yeah, you can definitely go 10. So if I go 9 laps for Verline and 10 for De Vries, he's fallen back a little bit. Verline has slipped to 3rd place. Bottas has gone around. Bottas has moved all the way up after starting, I believe, at 7th. Up to 2nd now. And Verline doesn't quite have the pace here. Neither does De Vries. Both of them are sliding back a little bit. But again, remember this. I started in the front row, not because of my pace, just because of the tactics there. So sliding backwards, especially when I'm on the softs, is not a surprise to me by any means. Ooh, Verline, even after defending, still couldn't hold the position. Mazepan does get around. Mazepan got on the ERS a little bit later, and then I used Verline's ERS, but it was not enough to defend. So with the conserve mode, Verline has dropped 2 positions here in a pretty short period of time, and De Vries also moving backwards. If De Vries can go 10 laps, that's 14. We're halfway there. 60%, we're okay. 58%, it's going to be a little harder for Verline to get to that 9 lap mark. So I'm going to continue to conserve. But De Vries should make it pretty easily to that 14 lap mark. So now with a different drive mode, you can see that De Vries definitely has some good pace at the moment and is gaining on his teammate within 1 second already, when he was about 2.5 seconds back just about a lap or 2 ago. Verline has saved up some ERS though, but right now is with conserve and everything else has not been in much of a position to have any reason to attack or even defend. And De Vries is not somebody I need him to defend against. And there we go. First car is into the pits. Williams heads into the pits, and it looks like Schramm, Bottas, and Mazepan are all close to that point as well here on lap 9 only. So if they come out on softs, they should be able to go to the end, but with that slower pace. If they come out on super softs, they're going to need a 2-stopper. Alright, so De Vries is now close up on Verline. Again, I'm still saving ERS on Verline, and I'd actually kind of like to get De Vries ahead as he's got a better chance of winning the race. Better car, better driver, both slightly, but does make a difference. And in those 2 races in between the last episode, where Verline did finish ahead of De Vries and got that 2nd place, that was all down to the first lap. Both cars started right near the back of the field, and Verline just had a phenomenal first lap. Started 20th, and I believe was 11th by the end of the first lap, while De Vries got pushed off the track, struggled, and was like 20th at the end of the first lap. So De Vries had a lot of work to get through the field, while Verline did it off the start. All right, so at lap 10 now, let's go neutral here for Verline. I think Verline has done enough here to hold off. And we go 1-2 as the other cars are all in. So all the leaders now into the pits. They were all on super softs. That's one of the main reasons why they were able to get away from me a bit there. De Vries still seems to have better pace than Verline, especially in Sector 3. Sector 1 seems to... Verline's a little bit faster in the straight. Okay, check in on the weather, and it looks like we're going to stay dry for this race. So, my strategy could pay off here. Let's take a look. Schramm still on super softs and used ones. Bottas and Mazepin are going to go the distance. They're on one-stop strategy. Williams is on super softs. Schramm, Tench, all of those contenders are going to have to come in again. The others that haven't stopped yet, you can see their tire wear is a bit worse than mine. So, Verline can make it 2 more laps. De Vries only needs to go 1 more here, so we're gonna go ahead and go into attack mode, and I only need to get De Vries around 1 more lap. Let's just push for the time being, but this is your chance to come up and overtake. I almost want to give team orders here, but we'll see if De Vries can't just make the move themselves. Make it stick. We've got straight coming up here. I'm going to save the ERS for... get a little closer. Not quite yet. Now De Vries closing down. And this will be a good spot to overtake. Ready, set, and go. Come on. Push, De Vries. Push. Attack. Attack. Overtake. Come on. There you go. And we're going to leave it on attack, as De Vries will pit this lap, as De Vries can definitely go 10 laps on these tires. Ooh, that's 11. That's not 10. Do I want to get 1 more lap out of you? Yeah, we'll go 11. A little bit of extra fuel. Car's fine. Okay, Verline. Supposed to go 1 more lap, and at 27%, we'll see if I can get 2 more out of Verline, so that Verline can make it on the super sauce. Whew, look at that. Pace seems to already be falling away, and Verline. ERS, I let you get too high on that one. Okay, so De Vries into the pits, and good stop so far, no mistakes, just refueling to finish. And Verline's going to head, De Vries is going to head back out on the track. Neutral, go neutral. And De Vries is out in 5th place, ahead of Bottas. So we were able to, no overcut. De Vries comes out of the pits just behind Bottas. It looks like Bottas had to use a little ERS there, but De Vries comes out in 6th place. Bottas can probably go the distance on those super softs, but none of the other cars up front will. They're all going to have to pit still. Big test here. Do I go 1 more lap for Verline? I'm going to push. I'm going to go overtake mode. Verline's coming around for 1 more lap. Pace was still good. 1 second there, and we've got some ERS to burn, so Verline, you're not as good on tires. That's why we're pushing you to go later. And that's going to be 9 laps remaining. We're going to give you extra fuel so you can continue pushing, especially when your parts are in good condition. Yeah, let's do it. 12 seconds. Pace is still good as we're pushing to get back in. So we're not losing time here, which is excellent. At the moment, we've actually got King lapped. De Vries up to 5th place. Pagenaud pit that lap, so there you go. There we go. Verline coming in and still has the pace. Still has the pace. Mistake on the rear left. I did not push it. I was even thinking about trying to speed things up. That was a costly one. 3.5 seconds lost. Verline about to lose the lead. Schramm goes around. Bottas goes around. There is our teammate. It's going to be close. De Vries ahead of Verline now. So De Vries is ahead. Track's going to stay dry. No rain. No rain. It was predicted 40% chance. We had rain throughout practice, qualifying. But we are now running 3rd and 4th. Schramm will not make it to the end of this race. So we could be looking at our first double podium. We are 4 seconds down on Bottas, and it's not a given that Bottas is going to win this. Bottas has tires that are quite a bit more used, and they are just the soft tires. Okay, here comes those second pit stoppers already beginning to come in. A lot of grip right now, which it's going to make me faster and faster as we go on. Plus, I have that excess fuel to burn a bit more for Verline. So Verline might be able to make up some additional ground. Fresher tires and an extra lap worth of fuel. Alright, 2.5 seconds back of Bottas. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to catch them. Within 2 seconds now, though. Picked up half a second there. And Schramm's probably gonna have to come in this lap. Let's see. No, Schramm's not pitting this lap. 22% on the tire wear. Oh, yes, Schramm is pitting this lap. Schramm is going to come in this lap. I don't think Bottas will come in. I think Bottas, yeah, Bottas is in conserve mode, which means I should be able to close Bottas down, but pure pace, I don't know if I'll be able to catch Bottas or not. Bottas has a better car and is a phenomenal driver. So we are on to that double podium now, but it's 2nd and 3rd. Can I get one or both cars ahead? Can I hold off Mazepin? Mazepin is only a 2.5 seconds back of Verline. We should be able to. If you look at the tire wear and what tires they're using. But Mazepin is another one of those who is an excellent driver. And we're talking about Bottas and Mazepin are the top 2 drivers in the Drivers' Championship. It's De Vries who is 3rd. And I am having a bit of trouble holding them off right now. 5 laps to go. So I will have extra fuel to burn there. De Vries, not so much. But again, pace is good right now, so There goes our ERS, and we're 2.5 seconds back. Right now, we're not gaining. So Bottas, it's going to come down to whether or not their tires fall off, and they really lose it in the end. Verline just got passed by Mazepin. Mazepin has moved ahead of Verline, even though Verline used ERS on the stretch, stretch up the hill. Still ended up getting passed anyway, so Mazepin got a heck of a run, and Verline has dropped off the podium to 4th place. And we are gaining now on Bottas. We picked up half a second that lap. .6. Bottas still in conserve. About to drop below that 25% mark. And there's still 3 laps to go. I could get Bottas. Those tires are toast. They're about to go in the red. Bottas is already 0.6 off the pace. De Vries just starting to drop off themselves though. I need to go conserve. Go conserve. There you go. Verline's pace is okay. Mazepin, how are they looking? They're still good on pace, but 28% already on conserve. Verline's got the best advantage of that, but the worst track position of the top 4. I think there's a pretty good chance that I can get Bottas here, but my tires are starting to fall off too. 40% is a lot better than them though. What are they at now? 21%. Pace only a little slow. 2 laps remaining. This is a good chance here. 0.7. I'm going to use a little bit of ERS. I don't want to use it all though. Yeah, I was a second off the pace there, but we close it right down. 0.6. Not making up ground. Verline's pace is pretty good and has lots of ERS. Final 2 laps of the race. I only have a little bit of excess fuel left for De Vries. But still some tires. We are close to Bottas. Delatraz is out of it. This is definitely a race top 4. Going into the final lap. We're going to push now. And we're going to use up the ERS here. And we're going to attack. And we're going to attack. And we're going to attack. Half a second behind Bottas. 1 second behind Mazepin. It's up on him. 0.4 of a second. There's our spot for the ERS. Last chance to overtake. We're going to go overtake all the way with Verline. Bottas wins. Verline actually drops back even further. So, in those final moments, nothing they could do. So, 2nd and 4th, though, great finish. It's really moving us up in the points. Outstanding that both drivers were able to finish so high. And I don't mind that it's Bottas with the win. Because at this point, I'm really racing against ART. And Mazepin, their second driver is Albon, all the way down in 16th, well out of the points. So I'm gaining points over ART. ART, who I was only 2 points ahead of coming in. So that's a big race for me. But I'm definitely way over time, so I need to wrap it up. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.